Welcome back to another eBay recap. This is a series dedicated to seeing a bit behind the curtain, seeing the ins and outs, ups and downs of our eBay reselling business. We're always trying to make improvements and keep moving forward month over month, and so it's just a great way to document how it's going. So I like to just start out with the current events that had happened throughout the month of October, and then we'll break down the numbers to see how we performed in our sales. To kick off October, we had our dryer kick the can. It would run, but it was not heating up. We did try to repair this on our own. We've never repaired a dryer before or anything close to a dryer. But after a couple YouTube tutorials and ordering some parts on Amazon and a Saturday to try it out, we were not able to succeed. We did not make it blow up, which was a success in and of itself, but it was still not heating up hot enough to dry our clothes. It would warm up a little bit, but not hot enough to actually do drying. So what we decided to do was keep our eyes out for replacing our dryer with a new one. As you know, in the reselling business, we are constantly washing and drying clothes, and we're gonna go through washers and dryers much faster than the average person just with the amount of clothes we wash. And this was the month where our dryer decided to give out. I think it lasted us about 2 years. They don't make them like they used to, so we're probably going to need to be planning on replacing a dryer every 2 years. The next event that happened isn't so much pertaining to our reselling business, but it is a really good flip that we did. And I wanted to give it an honorary position just to give it a spotlight, and it does help us in some other decisions in our business. So let's just talk about it.
Dude, check this out. This is the first pack I ever pulled of this set. Oh, hold on. Trying to call my friend. $850 to $1,000.
Not graded.
Not graded. Dang.
And I pulled this.
Also cool. Not as cool as the...
Mega Bomb Snow Eat.
While Kyle and the kids were at Target one day, they came across some Pokemon cards that were in stock, which is really hard to come by these days. In the very first pack that they opened, they pulled a Mega Gardevoir EX. You don't have to be a Pokemon expert to know that this card looks like it might be something special with just how it looks. We saw that we already had some imperfections on our card, so we were valuing it at $650 ungraded because we know with past track records of Pokemon releases that the chase cards start out really highly valuable and then decrease as more and more packs enter the ecosystem and the value drops. We were thinking that was probably what was going to happen with this. So we decided to take it to a collector store, and they paid us $420, which is around 60% of what it was valued. We took the cash and we sold it. Looking at the card's value to this day, ungraded, it is sitting at about $500. The value dropping a good chunk and us still getting $420 for it was a good decision because we also didn't want to deal with potential spam, scams, and whatnot with eBay. And, you know, by the time we didn't know what the market was going to do, so we were afraid if we shipped it out and sold it for $500, then by the time they received it, maybe it was only worth $300 and then they would want to return and all of that. So we just played hot potato immediately. As soon as it came into our lives, it left, and it gave us over $400 extra cash that we weren't planning on, which ties us into our third thing that we did during the month, and we bought a new dryer. And we bought the new dryer with the money we got from the Pokemon card flip. We went to the Lowe's outlet store. This is where they just put their scratch and dent. We found a commercial grade dryer. It's super basic functions, no fancy bells and whistles because one, we don't even use those bells and whistles, and two, we're just looking for longevity and efficiency. So far, it seems to be working out just fine, and it does its job, and we got it for very cheap. Sticking on the theme with improvements in our business, we also restructured our inventory setup. Previously, with my shirt store series where I built a shirt store from the ground up, I had used our wooden shelves for holding my shirt store inventory. So we took what was left of the shirt store, we mainly rephotographed all of it on the new board with better pictures and just re-skewed them all. And then we started using that shelving for the rest of our inventory of our main store. It was either doing this or going out and buying a new shelf shelf, and we didn't have the perfect spot to put a new shelf, so we just consolidated and worked with what we had. We're trying to get our store built up to 2,300 items. We are sitting roughly around 2,050 to 2,100, and it's really hard to be growing our store beyond 2,100 just because of the season we're in, where we are listing and selling basically the same amount. So store growth is pretty minimal, but if we are able to have a couple breakthroughs and grow our store up to 2,300 items, then we have the space to hold it. The reason why we want to do 2,300 items is because around 22 to 2,300 items, we should be hitting an average of 30 items being sold every single day. That's our goal, is to list and sell 30 items a day. The next thing we did was I found on Facebook Marketplace a circle rack, and I had shared on Instagram a little while ago that I was wanting some circle racks for our big, heavy, huge coats that we have, because consolidating on our regular coat racks it's really hard. And I was thinking with circle racks, it can just go around the circle whenever it's time to consolidate. You just push them all together and consolidate them to make more room on the rack. I'm still keeping my eye out for some more because we really like the setup. The next improvement we had for our business is actually a sourcing improvement. We had another grand opening for a Savers right next to us, so that's only adding more stores for us to hit in a close proximity to where we are. Savers is one of our favorite places to shop, especially if you can utilize their 20% off coupons when you donate an item. So we've been having lots of grand openings around our area, and it's just nice to have one on home base. The next improvement I made was I finally made an Amazon storefront. I get asked a lot of times where I get my supplies from, where I get my boxes from, where I get my bags from, what sizes, all those questions, and I have them all nicely linked into different categories on Amazon. It's very easy to just add to your cart. It's all affiliate links, so I do get a kickback. Everything I could possibly think of that we use in our reselling business, from photograph station to our shipping station to the computer items that I have near me for my listings. Even Kyle driving around, the hot box that he uses to heat up his lunch, that way he's not constantly eating out every single meal. Everything I could possibly think of is linked, and happy shopping. All right, now we're gonna be starting to head into the numbers, but before we get there, I wanna share one last big update. Over the past few years with reselling, we had our personal record of $1,223 in sales in one day. Well, this month we actually broke our personal record for the best sales day ever 2 times over. On October 13th, we had reached $1,473 in sales. And then just 6 days later, on October 19th, we had a sales day of $1,541. We've come close to breaking that a couple times, but we have not gone past it. So that is our personal record. For now, I am thinking it's gonna get harder and harder to try to beat that, but we'll see. Now it's time to head over to our October numbers to share what we're doing performance-wise and where our metrics sit. I did miss a couple days of recording how many items we sourced and how much we spent. So with the days that I did record how many items we sourced and spent, I just used that to average out what our cost of goods were, because it was probably not too far off. It was just a handful of days that I missed. With that being said, our cost of goods for October did go up compared to last month, but that's because we have been sourcing more jackets and coats, and just by nature, those are going to weigh more and be more in the stores and at the Goodwill outlets. So our average cost of goods for October went up to $7.13 an item. We also had that big USPS shipping rate increase that happened right at the beginning of the month. That did eat into the profit that I make on the shipping. Now, instead of us being able to profit $1 on shipping for every single item, it's now looking at about 70 cents profit per item. So our profit on that did go down a bit, but it's still good that we are profitable on it to help pay for our shipping supplies and the occasional return we get. With that being said, with our profit on shipping going down and our cost of goods going up, our average profit per item actually increased almost $1.50 per item. So we're now sitting at $17.78 average for profit per item. That is after we got our initial investment of that item that sold back. This is net profit. So our goal of working our way up to an average of a $20 profit per item is looking better and better. We're getting there slowly but surely. The store size did increase just a little bit. For last month, our store was hanging around about 2,000 items. And this month, for October, we were able to get it to hang around 2,050 to 2,100. It fluctuates between those two. With my tracker worksheet, I like to combine Poshmark and eBay together since we sell on eBay and Poshmark. For the month of October, we sold 864 items and we listed 930, giving us about a 93% store sell-through rate. We're very close to hitting our 30 for 30 goal. I think right now we're sitting at listing 30, selling 27, so we're almost there. And like I said, we had our 2 best sales days ever, resulting in also the best month ever, bringing in $31,863 in sales. On eBay's side, we sold 746 items, and on Poshmark's side, we sold 118 items. If you're curious as to how I list on Poshmark and eBay at the same time, I use my favorite cross-listing app, Nifty AI. It makes it so easy. It literally takes 2 clicks to cross-list our items from eBay onto Poshmark, and I have the automated feature. That way everything's automated over on Poshmark. I don't have to send out offers. I don't have to reshare my items. I don't have to do any of that. Nifty takes care of that for me. They do have a 7-day free trial if you want to test it out and see if it fits for you. And if you do like it, you can use my code Carrie at home for 15% off your first month. It is a great way to support the channel. So there you go. That is my update for October. I hope there was some good insight into here or some nuggets of information that will help you in your business, or simply if it can just inspire you for your store. If you want to share the wins that you had in October for your store, go ahead and share it in the comments. I would like to celebrate with you. But other than that, I will catch you guys in the next recap. I hope you guys have a wonderful Q4.